So, hello children. We have already started the chapter life processes. So, let us revise few starting points from this chapter. I am here with the PowerPoint presentation, and first point in this chapter is the criteria to divide whether something is alive. Criteria to decide whether something is alive. So, the most important criteria to decide whether something is alive is a movement. So, all living things move without the help of any external help, and some movements are easily visible like movement of the body parts. Some movements are not easily visible like molecular movements inside the cell. So, the molecular movements in cells and tissues is necessary for all the living processes. So, next to that, important life processes we are going to study under this chapter are nutrition, respiration, transportation and excretion. So, life processes are the basic processes in the living organism which are necessary to maintain their life. The basic processes are nutrition, respiration, transportation and excretion. So, in case of first, that is a nutrition, it is a process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body for the life processes. Next to that, respiration. So, it is a process by which food burnt into the cell of the body, and with the help of the process of respiration, we can generate, the body can generate the energy. And in 9th standard we have already studied this concept that respiration is with the three main steps. First is the glycolysis, second is the Krebs cycle, and third one is the electron transport system. We will revise all the things in this point. So, in next is the transportation. It is a process by which food, oxygen, water, waste products are carried from one part of the body to the another part. And last one is the excretion. So, it is the process by which waste products are removed from the body. So, next is the nutrition. So, this is the first life process that we are going to study under this chapter. So, nutrition is the process of taking the food by an organism and its utilization by the body to build the body for the growth and also for the repair of the damaged parts of the body. And this process of nutrition helps us to release the energy also. So, life on the earth depends upon carbon based molecules, and most of the food are also carbon based molecules. The outside raw material used by living organisms are food, water and obviously air. So, the mode of nutrition, in case of mode of nutrition, there are two main modes of nutrition. They are autotrophic and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So, all these concepts you have already studied in the lower classes, but we will revise it. So, autotrophic mode of nutrition is the nutrition in which organisms prepare their own food from simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. For example, all green plants and some bacteria like cyanobacteria, which are provided with the chloroplast, and chloroplast is the green color pigment which is responsible for giving the green color also. So, that is the reason why plants are green in why leaves are green in color. Then next is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. This in this kind of nutrition, organisms get their food directly or indirectly from the plants. For example, all animals, fungi, some bacteria also there. So, in that types of heterotrophic nutrition. So, there are three main types of heterotrophic nutritions are considerable, that is saprophytic, parasitic and holozoic mode of nutrition. In case of saprophytic mode of nutrition, it is a nutrition in which organisms get their food from the dead and decaying organism. They break down their food material outside of the body and then absorb it. Okay. So, for example, mushroom, bread molds, yeast and some bacteria are also there. In case of parasitic nutrition, it is a nutrition in which organisms get their food from the living organism or the host without killing them. So, examples are cuscuta, then ticks, lice, leeches, roundworms, stepworm, plasmodium. These all are the examples of parasitic mode of nutrition. Holozoic mode of nutrition, the last one, it is a nutrition in which organism take the food directly and digest and absorb it. For example, amoeba, paramecium, birds, fishes and human. So here I have given diagrams also. So next is the nutrition in plants, that is a autotrophic mode of nutrition in the plant. So photosynthesis is one of the well known process which is making the plants autotrophic in nature. So what is photosynthesis? It is a process by which plants prepare their own food by using carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight and inside chloroplast with the help of chlorophyll pigments. The food prepared is carbohydrate which is stored in the form of starch. So oxygen is also released in this process along with the water molecules. So this is the equation which is given in your textbook also. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide plus 12 molecules of water in presence of sunlight inside chlorophyll, it gives C6H12O6. It is a formula of molecular formula of the glucose. Along with that, 6 molecules of water and oxygen is also get released in the same process. So in this process of photosynthesis, it takes place in the 3 main steps. And what are these 3 main steps? Absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll pigment itself. Then second step is conversion of that light energy into chemical energy. So, because we know that chlorophyll pigments are having capability to absorb the light in the form of energy packets, which are also known as photons. So these chlorophyll molecules absorb the light energy, sunlight energy, in the form of energy packets, and these energy they convert into the chemical energy. So which form of chemical energy it is? It is a carbohydrate. Simply it is a glucose by splitting the water molecule. So water molecule splitting is also required in this particular process. So and third and last step is reduction of carbon dioxide by hydrogen to form the carbohydrates. So next is, this is the diagram where you can see that the carbon dioxide plants absorb with the help of stomata, then water molecules and minerals they obtain by the roots suck the water molecules and along with the mineral. Then xylem tissues are responsible for moving that water molecules towards the site of synthesis. So site of synthesis is the leaves, the chlorophyll pigments which are present in the leaves, and oxygen get released in this process along with glucose is the main product which is get formed. So chlorophyll it is a green pigment present in the leaves, and if you observe the cross section of the leaf under microscope, so we can also see the cells containing the green dots like structures. So that green colored dots are nothing but the chlorophyll pigments. So all these diagrams we are going to see in the wide view. So this is the first one, we have already studied this diagram. See, you can see that waxy cuticle, below that upper epidermis is there, then rectangular shaped cells are the palisade mesophyll, then spongy mesophyll, and we learn that the air spaces or air gaps are more in the spongy mesophyll, whereas in case of lower epidermis stomatas are present, and stomatas are the guard cells which are protective for the stomata, and it is also helps in taking in carbon dioxide inside. Then this is the diagram of palisade mesophyll, and you can see that the chlorophyll, how the chlorophyll is present, vacuole is also present, nucleus is also present, and all over you can see that the chlorophyll chloroplast is actually chloroplast is present inside the mesophyll, palisade mesophyll, and this chloroplast is consist of the chlorophyll pigments. So in this next diagram you can see the structure of chloroplast, where this is the outer membrane, then inner membrane. The space between outer and inner membrane is known as the intermembrane space. So inside you can see that the empty space is there, and in that empty space granum is a single stack like structure, and this granum is made up with the stacks of thylakoid. Thylakoid is a coins which you can see arranged one above other, and these coins arranged one above other to form a single stack like structure which is known as a granum. So singular is a granum, and overall content of granum, the complete content of granum inside the chloroplast is known as a grana. And then lamellae, it is a stroma lamellae, actually it is known as a stroma lamellae. So stroma lamellae connect two grana with each other. Then stroma is the aqueous fluid, that empty space you can see, it is a stroma is the space which is present inside the chloroplast, which is fulfilled with the aqueous fluid. Then thylakoid, it is a coin shaped structure which arrange one above other to form a granum. Then this is a stomata open to allow the carbon dioxide. How stomata get open up? To allow the carbon dioxide to enter into the leaf and water vapors to leave out. Then in this diagram you can see that any tiny pores, tiny pores which are present generally at the lower side of the leaf, it is known as a stomata. So here it is a structure of stomata through which excess of gases, exchange of gases takes place. Each stoma has a pair of guard cells which controls the opening and closing of stomatal pore, and when water enter in the guard cell, it gets swell up and pores will get open, and when guard cells lose the water, it will get shrink and pores will get close. So this is again the structure of stomata. Then you can see that in more little bit detail. So these are the brown color cells are the subsidiary cells from which water always enters inside this guard cells, and then in another diagram same way but the reverse manner, the water will lose by the guard cell. So when water diffuse into the guard cell, because of the turgor pressure, so this is the activity which is given in the textbook also.